panting or something. I'm like rushing. I can never get on here, or I rarely get on here right at 9. I think I've done it like once. I'm trying so hard to I need to learn how to schedule the lives. I can only schedule them like 9, 10, 11. I don't know how to do it like 9:15. So anyways, this is going to be real chit chatty, casual. I have all my seats beside me, or most of them, and I thought it would be fun to go through them and talk about, because I could do this all day long, any day of the week. And I don't know if at this point I would be considered a master gardener. If I'm not, I am close. I've been gardening for the most of the last 10 years avidly. And of course, there's been some breaks. And this year I had a surgery in April. So I didn't really have much of a garden. And now I want to concentrate on my fall garden in a way that I never did before. Mainly because I would have gardens that I'm a fan of drop and leave method, like, and be a little messy, and then I wouldn't really go through the trouble of cleaning it all up in time to start a fall garden. So I'm gonna go through my seeds. We're gonna have fun talking about all sorts of stuff. I also have a lot of these. I just was like, maybe we can I can get your opinions on some Kentucky activities to do. Hi, HK, how are you? Number one. You are the first. So yeah, I thought that might be a fun thing to do because I was a little incapacitated from weeding my pumpkin patch yesterday. I couldn't like move my right thumb earlier, like most of the day. Had a really, really nice conversation with the Anna Yoder, and I'm glad that I got to spend a lot of time with her on the phone. So I have already gone through my seed collection with y'all, and I know this might not be interesting to everybody again, but I am personally so excited. And I'm going to test the method of starting perennial plants, namely lemon balm. I'm really excited to get some lemon balm started. I haven't had lemon balm growing in a few years, and that is one of my all-time favorite herbs. And I want to see if I start it in the fall. Like I know it's gonna grow, under a greenhouse specifically. It might grow a little less fast because it has less sunlight, but I wanna see if I can perennialize anything, like, heading into the winter. And here where we are in South Central Kentucky, I consider us, like, Zone 7. We're technically still, like, 6B or something. I consider it more like Zone 7. It snows a few times a year, and there's definitely, all 4 seasons, but I love it. In my opinion, it's the best weather of anywhere we've lived, specifically for gardening. Now, there is a lot of humidity, and that isn't great for fruit trees specifically, but it is what it is. You can grow fruit. Oh, HK. Yes, I will. Yeah, I think seven is really nice. That's like you can grow almost anything besides maybe some tropical plants. But even then, if you have the right, setup, you can even grow that. And I bring up loofah gourd a lot because I grew it one time. If you didn't know what loofah gourd is, it's where loofahs come from. And that's the largest leaf I personally have ever grown. I mean, it was just, it was well over a foot across. And that was really fun. It grows crazy fast, but it has a very long, for you to have the gourds go to maturity and then dry on the vine, it takes, gosh, I want to say 190 days, something crazy long. So you really have to start those early. And anybody has any questions, I had somebody commenting last night, "Hey, Mr. Carey, how are you tonight?" Somebody was giving me some ideas, like some things that they'd like to see me talk about, and I really, really appreciate that. Like anybody ever has any ideas, it'd be more helpful to put it in a comment section, not the live chat, just so I can like definitely have a record of it because like I might forget if I don't write it down. But I really appreciate you all letting me know what you would like to see, and I definitely still have everything on my list that I've told you I wanted to do, namely the Kentucky cryptids and the corruption cases in Kentucky, especially the judge that was shot by the sheriff in Letcher County. Oh my gosh, I had no idea. One of my friends from YouTube on here, Diamond, she knows somebody who is a whistleblower in that case. I don't even like saying whistleblower because I feel like that doesn't do justice for what this woman has done for everybody, really. Hanging in there, Mr. Carey? Okay, so I just grabbed the first thing. This is going to be all over the place because my seeds are so unorganized, and that's kind of the point is I need to get everything I want to grow. And if you didn't know, there's certain plants that grow better in cooler weather. Great. I have 3 random seeds. These have to be some kind of squash seed. I have no idea what they are, though. That's always fun. That's what I get, though, you know? That's what I get for being so disorganized with all of my seeds. Whoa, now, Johnny. So here's some perennial plant, blue flax. If you've never seen the plant flax before, it is so beautiful. The flowers are precious. The way the leaves move in the wind is really neat. And I really want to grow a lot of this. I don't think I would do it here on this property, but I think, and I saw a YouTube video, I forget who the creator was, but somebody has grown flax and then processed it into linen threads and wove the threads together. I just think that is so cool to me to be able to grow your own textiles. You know, gardening isn't just about food and sustenance. You can grow like almost anything and everything you could really need. Like you really could, like even the loofah gourd, like the leaves are so large, you could use that as partial shelter for like chickens or even yourself in a pinch. I mean, of course, it would take a month to grow, but I'm saying like technically they could be used for shelter, you know? There's something called structured water. I want to make a video on this because when somebody told me about it, I didn't believe them, and then I looked it up, and it's like it is true. The water in a watermelon specifically, and I can't help but think this would be true with more fruit and vegetables other than just watermelons. The water in watermelons is special, basically. And so a lot of people will say things like it's just water about a lot of different produce, but like the trace minerals and nutrients that we are missing out on, like I really do believe and our soils are depleted. Our government started saying, I always have to make the same points in every garden video. I'm sorry. Our government started saying in the 1920s, it was around the time of the Dust Bowls out west, that we are depleting our soils. I mean, they knew it with the Dust Bowl. That's why, like, oh crap, we need to kind of change our methods a little bit. And the crop rotation, the crappy, barely crop rotation, like crop rotation isn't growing the same two things for decades, just rotating them. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be that ideally. Of course, there's always going to be exceptions. I know somebody's going to say, well, you know, so and so's growing the same thing in this plot for like whatever reason. However, most of the time, especially with large crops, you know, you're going to want to give the land a rest. You're going to want to grow something different and grow a nitrogen fixer and um, help supplement it. Mr. Carey, I'm sorry I didn't bring up your GoFundMe in last night's live. I am not staying on for hours tonight, guys, just so you know. Like I'll probably get off here around 10:30 because my hernia was numb when I got up. Anyways, it's just something that I never felt before and it kind of freaked me out. But yes, these are very precious and I have no idea where I would put these, but I don't think those are for a fall garden. Now, I should attempt because when I started my seeds this year, it was in May or June. It was way too hot and they just burnt up. But these are all a few things. I am so, oh my gosh, you don't understand how excited I am. I have two kinds of eucalyptus, silver drop and baby blue. I love botanical interests, you guys. And I have successfully germinated a lot of eucalyptus, but I've never gotten it to grow past like four true leaves. The first 2 leaves of a plant aren't true leaves. They're basically like what is in the shell that is what is going to contain the nutrients for the plant to get started. So you don't really even need to give them light. Ideally, you do, or they might get leggy, but you don't even really need to give them light until they have more than those first 2 true, I'm sorry, until they have their first 2 true leaves. Hi, Byron. How are you doing if you're still in here? Hi, Naveed. You said, what is your opinion about sudden cloudbursts around the world and flooding in different parts of the world as a part of global warming? Well, I do believe, you know, like it's a little over my head. I'm not an expert in it, but I know that there's changes in the weather, and I do believe that part of it is man-made. Like we can't be not affecting our climate. And that's really unfortunate. And the way that it's changed, there's a lot of flooding here in Kentucky where I'm at. It's very concerning. There's a lot of people that set up they live right next to water because of the resources the water provides and some the scenery even, and it's really sad. And I don't have an opinion other than it's really sad and awful. And I wish there was more help from our governments, you know, and I don't expect them to, well, I know I do believe in cloud seeding. There's documents the government released, like, admitting they did it in Vietnam, so, like, they do certain things on purpose, so if that's where you're going with it, I don't doubt that that could be a cause too, you know what I mean? They could absolutely be manipulating things and making things worse and knowing that there's gonna be people that are like, "Well, it could be a part of natural weather patterns because of the increase in the climate, there's a lot more precipitation in the atmosphere." So feverfew is something I'm probably gonna try to germinate with, like, my eucalyptus I just showed you. And I guess I do have things fairly organized. I'll probably put this off, but moringa is the most nutritionally complete plant. And like, I need to redo my like survival seeds video. I think I could do a better job on that. And like, this is amazing. You don't understand. It's nutritionally complete. Like, there's nothing like it really. And it's very popular in India. They use the seed pods. I've never ate the seed pods. I've just had the leaves crushed up into powder. It is bitter in my opinion. I need to work on ingesting more bitters. Like, we need bitters. Some of the best, most in nutrition, healthy herbs and food are bitter, and I think that's something that we're missing from our diet that we need. But I don't. This is like tropical tree. It's basically a little tree, and I would love to really establish that. Okay, as I put that up, I saw we're definitely growing peas. Peas is one thing I can still grow this year. I've got. Yes. Tender sweet, and these are good for containers. Even though I'm sorry, I didn't mean to flip you guys off. Even though we've had a big yard and plenty of space the last several years, I still like to buy plants that are container friendly because I like compact plants, or to at least have the option. Like, I'm going to grow the container or the space saving cucumbers, but I'm also going to grow the other kind of cucumbers. I like to grow multiple kinds of everything, especially summer squash. And it's kind of ridiculous because they take up a lot of space. And you don't need that many summer squash plants, but I just can't help it. And I ate the first one today. That's how late my garden was. I ate my first zucchini tonight. I made it with for my family. Hi, Lenneth. How are you? Naveed, an upcoming 50 years mini seaside is going underwater in HARP, officially weather generator that is fixed. Alaska was something classified. Yes, I do. Yeah, I know about HARP. Yeah, and right. People like want to deny that they manipulate the weather. Well, how do you explain HARP? It's like literally there. Not really. But it is very sad, the people by the sea, and I almost can't help but wonder if, like, they're not gonna help with that, even though they could help more because it's part of the population control, possibly, I'm a little confused because it's like, on one end, they definitely give population control vibes, and the other, they're, like, all freaked out over the birth rate, which I do wanna make more videos on the birth rate because I understand my videos are made. I'm kind of like really generalizing it, and I've gotten some thought-provoking comments. I really do appreciate people like challenging me in the comments of my videos. It makes me realize the points that I didn't make. And I said I wanted to make more videos anyway, but I think that that is a really interesting conversation. But pyramid. I didn't know that there was a dwarf moringa. I have probably 50 packs of seeds that I can't use. Why can't you use them? Because it's too big? Oh, HK asked that too. Hi, Keith. How are you doing? What are we mastering tonight? I'm just planning my fall garden, so I like the help of my YouTube friends. Uh, I think that you guys are fun to bounce stuff off on. And my thumb hurt really bad from weeding my pumpkin patch yesterday, so I couldn't write a script. But I mean it, you guys, sincerely. I totally intend on like writing more scripted lives, having anybody want to give me any a subscriber suggested like the Book of Enoch, and Anna said a lost book of the Bible I've never even heard before. And I didn't ask her this, but I don't think she'd care if I said it on a live. But I really want to try to maybe do a live with Anna because she knows a lot more about the Bible, every book from the Bible, than me. Moringa is a big tree, HK. I'm gonna say, it gets 10, 20 feet tall if it's not the dwarf. And I found that a lot of things say dwarf variety, but they're not. Does that make any sense? I got, what did they call it? These dahlias that were supposed to be extra small. And it's like they were smaller, but I've noticed they encourage you to grow them closer together. Anything you plant too close together, they're going to be stunted in growth. And I don't know if that's it. And anyways, so we're definitely going to start peas. Oh my gosh, I'm so. I really like this plant in the heat. I'm probably not gonna grow it in the cold because 'cause I'll grow real spinach because spinach gets bitter fast in the heat. But this is a good substitute for spinach, and in my opinion, it's easier to grow. It's called New Zealand spinach. Um, it's funny how I made a note on it to grow in a container, but we're not gonna do that this year. Okay, geez Louise, I have another kind of pea, sugar snap. Oh my gosh, okay, this is my favorite. So I'll probably just grow 2 kinds of peas, narrow that down eventually. We're in an apartment now, plus I have a bad habit of grabbing packs whenever I can get my hands on them. Well, a pyramid, that's good, good looking out, that's what I was saying, like, I think having a good seed supply is one of the best, like, prepper, I'm a bit of a doomsday prepper myself, I'd be more so if we had more money, and, I feel for you being in an apartment as somebody that wants to grow things, I really do, I've been there, I hope that you get in a situation where you can grow whatever you want sooner than later, and, everything works out really, really well. It is, there we go, I lose my train of thought so easily. Oh, okay, so even if we have, like, a gold like, when shit really hits the fan, if it does, and the grid goes down, it'd be easier, in my opinion, to possibly, like, barter with seeds than gold, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that it's not good to save gold either, okay? Not but, okay. I want to make sure I'm not missing any comments. I am missing comments. Keith said, all your colorful veggies for your bright, vibrant health, right? Yes, it's very important to eat all colors, right, Keith? And the more people stick to like processed foods and the standard American diet, it's literally like beige. That's all people eat. It's like beige or fake colors. Pyramid, I know, right? I used to have a huge garden, urban chicken coops, etc. Oh, that's so neat. So you really know what you're doing. We have a chicken coop too. I don't know if you're new here, but I'm gonna be showing a lot more of all my stuff because I'm gonna be at home. I've been working we're in recovery from surgery since I really was doing YouTube content in the last year, so I'm really excited to show you guys more. And, you really start planning your garden I'm already planning my garden for next year somewhat, you know what I mean? Like, when you grow a big garden, you start planning it, like, before January usually, and it's a great time of year to buy seeds at the end of the season seeds will last a lot longer, they don't really expire. If you take care of them, if you store them well, they might not be as easy to germinate or like have as high of a germination rate, right? The older they get. However, like I've got seeds that I'm like, okay, because they've been in the heat so much at an off-grid place, I kind of do want to use them as soon as possible. But I bought microgreen seeds, like 5 pounds of certain kinds of peas. I want to grow stuff for our chickens, like specifically for our chickens, like buckwheat is one of them. I got it for a cover crop. But if you buy microgreen seeds, sometimes it's cheaper or as cost effective but I've never bought like from a place where it's like wholesale farmer seeds either. I'm sure that is the cheapest. What garden skills would allow you to grow to bring health to your family? Keith, I don't, I'm sorry, my brain isn't processing that question right. I don't think. What garden skills would allow you to grow? Um, Just the motivation, just all the skills would bring that to families, right? It's just oh, I'm sorry, it's all backwards to you guys. I think it might be it might be right on the replay. I could be wrong about that, but I'm sorry, that must be a little annoying, especially for some people more than others. It's just the way it is. I don't know if it's because 'cause I'm using the camera facing me on the front of my phone, and if I use the other one, if it wouldn't be like that possibly. The Moringa pack looks like it's from Mansfield, Missouri. Baker Creek seeds. Yes, you're right. You're right. They're fun to buy from, aren't they? They gave me I also got like this I've grown 8-ball zucchini before, but this is a different kind of round squash. I didn't grow this year. But I like to buy stuff from them. Look at this pineapple squash. That's something I haven't grown yet either. But yeah, I'm a huge fan of summer squash, as you can see. I like every time I see a new kind of summer squash, and I didn't know. Okay, so I have some, like I said, I started them like in June and I put them in straight compost. So a lot of these were stunted because there was too many nutrients, and I think it took a while for the roots to get down past what was mostly straight compost. And so I'm just now getting, I have these beautiful two big zucchini plants in my like waist high raised bed and I didn't know what kind they were, because at this point like the markers that I have used, the words are rinsed off of them and um I just it's like Christmas, like not knowing like what kind of winter squash is that. And I thought it would be the same kind because they're so close together. But today I noticed, oh my gosh, I think one is rugosa, which is like a traditional heirloom type, it's bumpy. And one is, I think it might be yellow squash, which excites me because my other, like the zucchini I ate today was green. I'm sorry. I feel like this must be so boring to some people. So we're definitely going to do kale because greens, spinach, I need to catch up on the chat. Seeds are gold. Jaren T, are you still in here? I don't know if you're still in here, but my heart breaks for everybody involved, all the innocent people involved in that conflict. And I definitely think I don't know if I can say that word, genocide taking place is absolutely wrong. And I I don't think it's right that we can't talk about the obvious, that this group of people literally run the world. And even if they don't literally run the world, they're just like at the top of every corporation you could imagine. And like the power that they have, it's just it's all it's all wrong in my opinion. Yeah, and as standard American diet leads to inflammation, indeed. Yes. Hi, Shaw to the T. How are you doing? If you're still in here, I hope you're still in here. How are you doing, Shaw to the T? It's been a minute. And yes, chronic inflammation is so damaging. People really don't realize do what you can control, send good vibes towards what you can't. Right. I kind of just try to, I'm a very anxious person. I overthink things a lot. And I really, in the last like 5 years of my life, especially, have really learned how to like leave it up to God. Like if I can't control something, I don't want to fret over it. Um, I didn't see what Marcus said. You're in Missouri Pyramid? Oh, that's cool. Have you ever been to Baker Creek? Don't they have like a big place? Yoder, I'm sorry. I was on at like 9:15, right? It's so that's what I was like, oh my gosh. I try so hard to be on right at 9. I'm home all day. I don't know. I made a big dinner and then I wanted to clean up the kitchen really good. And then I was like rushing because I put makeup on for you guys. I always feel conflicted about that. I should make a video on that. Like, I like to wear makeup. I don't think there's anything wrong with wearing makeup, but I have like struggled with the fact of like, why can't I leave the house without putting makeup on? Why can't I go to Walmart without putting makeup on? I don't like that. I really do feel like I want to look best for my husband. But there is some, you want to be presentable, and then I just have mixed feelings about it. But yeah, then I had to get my makeup on and I realized it was 8:36 and I was like, oh no. And I had to, it's Anna Banana if you wanna be precise, Yoder said. Anna, I was talking about you. I was like, it would be fun if you want to, if you don't wanna do it, I'm completely fine with that, girl, but, like, I thought it'd be fun if we did a live together about, especially lost books of the Bible. Like, I need to do a lot more research, but I think having somebody like you that knows a lot more would be helpful. So I'm not gonna grow collard greens because I'm just growing, like, salad. I wanna say collard greens need a little more heat, right? Just as big as they get, like, everything is a little more stunted in the winter, so or the fall too. You've never been there, Pyramid? You almost said Anna Banana? I know I can go to Walmart without makeup. I know I literally can, but I have autoimmune issues. I don't look as good without makeup as some women do. I have, like, really bad circles under my eyes. I just, have had people every woman knows what this like. You're used to wear okay, not every woman that's worn makeup. You don't wear makeup one day, and then people ask you if you're sick and stuff. It's like, and then for men, you guys like it's your hormones. I don't know if it's because you never messed with it in the first place, and your skin is just like better because of that. But yes, we're growing. Not growing. I had this fenugreek. It's something that I got because I think what is that like hormone balancing? We're not gonna do that. We're gonna stick to, like, lettuce. Okay. I have dinosaur kale. Should I try to grow that? Because this gets huge. So maybe it won't get as big, but it'll still be, like, plenty of kale from one plant. I love kale chips. Anna, do you make kale chips? You cook them. You put some oil lightly, and, salt, whatever seasonings you want, and stick it in the oven. I wanna say it's, like, 200 degrees. I love kale chips, and I love kale slaw. But yeah, so I've got all my heat tolerant lettuce out. So I'm just gonna like find my other lettuce. I'm gonna save this for the heat months. Listen to me, for the hot months. Fenugreek sounds familiar. Yeah, it's a popular like sprout. They use it in some dishes. I want to say, I don't know if it's Indian cuisine. Okay. These are Here's a few things that is like you're supposed to start it or ideally start it it says start in August. I've never grown this before. This is that stuff that's in like the salad mix that's right. The purplish stuff that's in salad mixes often. I think so. Add bold flavor to fresh salads. Known as Italian chicory. I have grown chicory, and we did eat the what am I trying to think of what it's called? Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm such a dork. I need to do scripted lives. But yes, we're definitely growing. Here's the rest of my lettuce. I know you guys probably aren't interested in my exact kinds of lettuce. This is another thing I think that can be started in the fall, Romanesco. I've never grown it before. I'm sorry, it's a cauliflower. That's a green cauliflower. That's exciting. See, stuff like that, I feel like there's not going to have enough sunlight and like cabbage, cauliflower, right? Um, yes, kale. I haven't had fresh kale in a few years too, with all this moving around we've been doing, and like, um, I can. You can up kale collards with bacon. That sounds so good. Yoder. Oh, that sounds so good. I love collard greens. Oh my gosh, with vinegar. I prefer Swiss chard more than kale. Yes, I like to grow Swiss chard too. Definitely have that. Now that's something that if I get established now, it might last a long time. You know what I mean? It's not, is it a perennial? It's not a perennial, but I've had it last over a year. You know what I mean, Anna? I've harvested from the same chard plant for like a long time. Too died for me to get most lettuce choices. Oh, that sucks. This says Landis Winter, an incredibly cold, hardy, classic Pennsylvania Dutch winter lettuce. This variety is descendant of the now extinct 1700s variety called white tennis ball from the Roughwood seed collection, one of the most frost-resistant lettuces known. Superb for winter harvest. Well, we've got to do this then because even though, like I'm saying, it doesn't snow a lot here, but when it gets cold, it does get cold. When we were off grid, there was one point where we were staying with right by our wood stove. We all had I think it was below 0 degrees. And the neighbors across the street had to go to a hotel because the power went out because it was so cold. Like, so there's definitely cold snaps, you know what I mean? But it's literally only snowed 2 times the last few years, maybe like really snows that, like, make school get canceled and stuff. I feel like I feel like this is something that is heat tolerant. No? Okay. I really like the little compact, especially salad greens because it grows it's a little bit easier to keep the bugs out of it, you know what I mean? It's just easier. Yeah, that's kinda weird, no name saying nothing. Okay, let's remove. Oh, okay, that's just removing okay, whatever. I don't know what to do. So, I mean, I am, not good at modding. Butter crunch is always a good choice. I just like this. This is one of my favorite kinds of lettuce. I have tons of the packets. Like, every time there's a sale on botanicalinterest.com, I get a few of the same things, it's around sale, and they send you these thank you packets of, mescaline. I I'm not a huge fan, but I'll definitely use it, and I really like once again, different colors, right? And there's so many beautiful different colors of lettuce. I have seen red fire at Kroger's, but other than that, hey, Zeus. I answered a question about velocity banking last live stream and my comment didn't show up. Yeah, people were saying the same thing about last night. There was somebody that was in the chat like for like 2 hours, and then he was like, I have to cut my comments up in sections or they don't go through. That was disappointing. Look at this. It's like green and red. It's so pretty. So it's always fun to have different colors for the kids. Like little kids are always going to enjoy a more colorful. So this is a kind of romaine. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Is it? Yes, it is. So I like to have that for, all sorts of like wraps and stuff you can make easily. I was fiddling around trying to get rid of the spammer. Mr. Carey said, "Hi, Divy. How are you?" If you're still here. Oh, hey, Alan. How are you doing? You said, "Good evening, kids." Yeah, I have to keep my comments short to pop up. Yeah, that first comment you left, I mean, I guess that's not long, long, but I'm surprised all that showed up. Um, God made women. Why God made women? LOL, Yoder said. So then this is something that they gave me for free from Baker Creek. Ancient variety that has been grown by urban farmers near modern-day Istanbul, Turkey since Byzantine times. This variety has been recognized by the Ark of Taste as beloved culinary symbol of Istanbul's centuries-old urban gardens. A romaine type with long leaves, a crisp center, and white seeds. That's interesting. I mean, I can see it now that I read romaine, but I wouldn't have thought you're just used to romaine growing like more like this Vivian, right? The like heads of lettuce. Okay, I think that's enough lettuce. And there is this black-seeded Simpson, but okay, I kinda do like this because it's really frilly and it adds a lot of texture and it's really nice, especially for sandwiches. Hi, Aaron. I hope you have a great weekend too, Aaron. I love that kind of maroon tinged lettuce, makes me feel fancy. Yes, I love just fresh food. Oh my gosh, it really is a delicacy. Just being able to go harvest things fresh and eat them right away is something I wish more people could experience. I was trying to escape the wiener roast, Mr. Carey said. Yeah, I was surprised it showed up to you, Hazy said. Oh, Skipper's here again. Is doomsday prepping fairly common in your area? Also, how many weeks worth of food do you recommend? Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't tell anybody. However many you can afford, you know. I think that after living through things like hurricanes, you should just prepare for a month, I think, just for natural disasters, especially what we've seen lately, right? With the way our government doesn't tend to help people in need during those times. Okay, so we're gonna not do the oh no, we are gonna do the Black Sea to Simpson, but we're not gonna do the Grand Rapids because it's similar. It's like frilly, like the Simpson, but we don't need all of that. And I'm excited. Like we could plant seeds together. I don't know if that would be a good live because it would probably be hard for me to keep the camera on me. This plant is what I showed the wreath of, and I'll show you again right now. But this, okay, once again, this has been smushed. Don't laugh at me too hard. See, there's a wreath on the packet, and I made a wreath. This wreath is like 5 years old. It is lost most of it, you know. See how there's like those little yellow flowers. Okay, it doesn't smell like anything anymore. Probably just inhaled a bunch of dust, whatever. But I've never personally gotten like it shows like purple. I've only gotten yellow flowers. I've grown this plant a lot, so I don't know what's up with that. But I love it. This is a centuries old treasure, highly aromatic, popular for things like potpourri, herbal crafts, floral filler. But it's wormwood. It's sweet wormwood. I also have the other kind of wormwood right in front of me. Absinthe wormwood, but, I've never made absinthe from it. I did grow it. I don't know, HK, a few dozen kinds of lettuce. All my seeds from Baker didn't grow this year, so pissed. Oh, Yoder, that's awful. I don't wanna say it, but, like, I almost stopped buying from them because, the person that owns it was really outspoken about how everybody should get that preventative medicine for the new illness, and, like, I didn't really like that, you know what I mean? Like, you should be able to say whatever you wanna say, but when you start your free speech involved the idea of forcing something on other people, I really, really don't like that. So I didn't wanna, like, support them, but they just, like, have such a cool selection, like, it's really hard to get some things anywhere else. Okay, a bunch of herbs that I'm probably not gonna bother with, like St. John's wort, I already have marshmallow mint, a bunch of flowers, cat grass. Okay, none of this is stuff I'm going to use. We're basically gonna do root vegetables and salad greens. Do you think I'm gonna be successful growing carrots and onions, Anna? And I'm gonna cover it with like greenhouse covering stuff too, but I just don't know if I should even attempt to grow something that's going to have such big fruit. Does that make sense? Like I know less sunlight. That sucks, yo. Don't pay a premium. Don't you pay a premium? Well, I don't know, HK. There are like a lot of places like that. In the big scheme of things, they're expensive because you only get like a few seeds in some packets, but they're really not that crazy. I think they're cheaper than botanical interests. Need to buy adjacent property just for lettuce. I'd like to have a greenhouse and I would like to have a CSA. Here's my strawberry spinach seeds. This is a really fun green. I got this from Michigan Gardener. These are seeds I saved from what I already grew years ago. And it's called strawberry spinach because it really does make these little red berries. They're so cute. They're more like teeny tiny raspberries, the way they look and everything than strawberries, but and they taste like nothing, but they're still fun, you know? It's still fun to have like a little berry in your salad, or hopefully more than one little berry. Like some berries. I'm almost done, like going through because most of this, I know I'm not going to use. Here's another kind of Michigan gardener lettuce. It's really cute. Those little you can't really see it. There's like the tiniest white flowers growing out of them. Almost like bells of Ireland, if you're familiar with that flower, but it's like teeny tiny, like in the strawberry lettuce, the leaves are also really teeny tiny. But those plants are both so easy to grow. Maybe I should try to, no, I'm not going to grow that. I have this blend of kale, but there's not that many seeds left. I'm not going to grow that. No mustard. This spinach is what does this say? This is from 2015, and Mylar packets are like one of the best ways to store seeds, right? So this was from Patriot Seed Supply. Is that what it's like really good if you want to prep? But I also think it might be smart to buy a seed collection like this if you just don't have good seed storage and you want to ensure you're getting something that will last a long time. Yoder said I got 3,000 jars in my cellar, but I don't think you know how big our family is. No, I'm still scared to can, Yoder. I wish you were here. I have like 2 dozen cucumbers on my counter right now. I'm going to make pickles, but I'm just going to do the fridge pickles that like last 6 weeks. I wish I had somebody like you to show me in person. I can't just watch YouTube videos and do something like canned food. But you probably laugh at me a lot. I'm north of Cincy a little bit. Nobody around here got anything to grow this year. Really, Alan? That's sad. That makes me so sad. I wonder. You think it might have anything to do with the heat? Because I know like how every day was in the 90s. Like that's why I didn't have six. I did try to grow a lot more than I grew. I basically grew cucumbers. It's so funny to me. Cucumbers, zucchini, and I've got some pumpkins going right now. That's like so pathetic. Like I would love to. I usually grow like 100 different things. I am gonna try to grow these because once again, I had some seeds off grid. All these seeds were off grid almost, and I feel like the quality might not be that great. How far north? Like how far north of Cincinnati, HK? Is that what you're asking? I got the absinthe, Yoder said. I have grown it. I just don't remember how it was different. I want to say it was like bigger than the sweet wormwood. Am I right about that? And I know it's like very similar, but it was different somehow. Well, Lucky, look what Yod said. What? That she has the absinthe? Or she has 3,000 jars? Supposed to be good to see you, Skipper, my autocorrect, Mr. Carey said. Now, not now, don't start, Yoder said, about making fun of me of the canning the food. That's what you're talking about. I mean, maybe you can make it grow, but usually need more time for girth. You can try. I tried mine at this time, came out like baby carrots. Yeah, that's what I thought, I'll just stick with the salad greens. I said root vegetables, but I was like carrots and onions. Maybe I'll try radishes because they have such a short growing seed. They only take 30 days. That'll probably be the only root vegetable, really. I love beets. I love growing beets. I love eating beets. I love golden beets. There's something about the golden beets, and I've never seen those in a store. I'm sure that they are at farmers markets, but they're called golden boy beets and botanical interest. Have you ever grown those, Yoder? I love those. Oh, hi, Cosmic Horizon. How are you doing tonight? Um, We are maybe 40 miles north of Cincy, Alan said. Thanks for letting us know. Yeah, that's not, I mean, that. It seems like you probably didn't have as much heat as we did because we're a few hours south of you, like 3 country or city limits. HK wants details. You don't have to answer any of that, Alan, but you know that. You think I'm too unsanitary, Yoder says. Hey, we have lived off grid. Living off grid for 11 months really taught me and when it came to my child, I really never pushed limits with him. Okay. I really didn't. For a while, we didn't realize our solar could had the capacity to like do everything we needed plus a mini fridge, and we were like living out of a cooler. And it's like basically I got to the point if it didn't smell rancid or have mold or mildew growing on it, I'm like, I'm gonna eat it. You know what I mean? But, once again, not giving any advice and definitely would never ever test it with children. But in like that smell that we got in our kitchen sink in the off-grid house, I'll never forget that smell. And there was a woman that left the Amish who was talking about the scrap bucket and like what that smelled like. It literally smells like a compost pile. Like that is full of really bad rotting stuff, almost like decomposing flesh or something. Anyways. You're modding 2 channels at the same time. Mr. Carey, that's so nice of you. I hope you know you can, like, you don't ever have to stick around. Heather Ray, how are you doing tonight if you're still here? I'm doing well. I've had a really good day. Yesterday, I was processing leaving my job. I left my job the night before, which I knew was going to happen. But, anyways, today I actually woke up happy, like with the realization I don't have to go work on my feet for 10 hours, which was nice. Alan said Mr. K is pulling double duty tonight. Radish, beets, cabbage, garlic. Oh, yes. I've grown garlic once because every time it comes time to buy it, it's always like sold out at the only places I would buy it. You're kind of far away from the kitchen, lovely rat. I made a big dinner tonight. I fried zucchini. I have fried zucchini this year from like store-bought zucchini, but it was my first homegrown fried zucchini of the year, which made me really, really happy. I made spaghetti with it, but I was so annoyed I forgot my husband bought mushrooms. I would have so added the mushrooms to the spaghetti sauce, but and personally, if it was just like me, I would have just we had fried fish from last night. My husband made beer battered fish, and so we heated that up, had the spaghetti and then the fried zucchini, that was a really good supper. It was really yummy. And, the one thing I love about summer squash so much, it's so versatile. I like to grow a lot of it. I haven't done it in the last few years with all this moving around, but I really hope I get enough this year that I can freeze some. You shred it and you squeeze the water out of it and you shred like 1 cup portions in a muffin pan is an easy thing to use if you have one. And then you have 1 cup portions of zucchini for baking, for things like zucchini bread, and you can even make flour out of it, which I haven't done, but I've always wanted to. I do have a Vitamix, but it's like really old. It's like a 15-year-old Vitamix, but it still works. If the feet start moving, it would be a dancing channel, Mr. K. Talking about feet on the other channel in music. Oh, hey, Hugo. How are you doing tonight? I'm doing well. Mr. Carey, dude, I went to the jam session day each day after this finding you, but you were nowhere to be found, Yoder said. Hugo, what do you think about U.S. military department and USS destroyers to Venezuela's coast? Send USS destroyers to Venezuela's coast. Gosh, I can't talk. I did not know about that, and I mean the state of the whole world is sad right now. And I had no idea. And like Venezuela, what's happened to the country of Venezuela in the last decade or so is also very sad. I think war is a rich man's game, and that's not to discredit. Like the horrible things happen to innocent people, and that's what's so horrible about it. It's all like just like a game for them to make money, get their you know control and everything. I'm totally, absolutely against war. I feel like at this point in time, with all our technology and the ability to communicate like in real time, we should be able to grow up and stop like threatening each other like that. You left. Did you quit? Yes, Hugo. I had already put my 2 weeks in, but then I had a little incident. Like the reason I put my 2 weeks in was because they didn't up production, but like a bunch of new people came and then they were making like literally almost twice as many parts per hour, some hours, at least 25, 40% more. And then I told them I can't do these numbers. And they were like, "Why are you leaving? Why are you leaving?" I had 3 managers come up to me and ask me, and I told them why, but nobody ever told anybody to slow the fuck down. And then I was next to somebody, and he had somebody step in. This guy angrily stepped in and started doing his job, and it's like it involves a machine. It can only go so fast, the machine has to do its thing. And I just walked up to the managers. I'm like, he's doing what I was telling you guys about, and like, and he's being a jerk. It's not like he's like, oh, I want to help you guys. I want to like walk down here, help you guys out. He's like, ugh, like you're not going fast enough, and I have no idea why. They've got like they're tryhards for no good reason. We get paid the same amount of money. So I said, "Will I be blackballed from working for this company ever again?" They said no, and I quit. Carrie has kids for sure, HK said. I can quart jars of zucchini, then make fritters. Oh, you can up. Listen to me. I can. The way I'm reading it is wrong. Yes, that sounds awesome. Okay, I just lost where I was in the chat. I'm on channel when he goes live 99% of the time. And okay, mod, not none. Yeah, Yoder also try Brand Social. I am there now too. He is Canadian playing a gig right now. Live music using my old phone and my regular phone. Oh, Mr. Carey, one question led to a lifetime story. I'm sorry, Hugo. That sounds yummy. I've got nothing else to talk about. I am gonna continue going through my seeds a little bit, but I'll probably get off of here within the half hour, just so everybody knows. Last night was so great and so fun, but we can't go at it for 3 hours every time. Am I right? You know what I mean? That's just like a sometime thing. This is a free seed I got, which what the heck is it even? A traditional kamatsuna? I don't even know what it is. Dense in nutrition, so refined in flavor. Oh, okay. Known as spinach mustard. That sounds neat, but I'm not going to grow it. It was just judging by the size of it, it looks like it probably needs more of a growing season than what we are going to have. I've got sprouts, lots of just like an antioxidant sprouts mix. I think I will go ahead and try to grow that for like baby greens. Alan, yep, with applesauce. My wife won't let me have a girlfriend. Should I be upset? Thanks, Yoder. um, oh, hi, MM. How are you doing tonight? This is very casual, and I'm only going to be on here a few more minutes, but I really have a goal of trying to be as consistent as possible. But I do have lots lined up for edited content. I'm really excited about that. This is Nigella sativa, a seed pod from what's known as black cumin and black seed oil. It's known to be really, really good for your skin, hair, and like internally as well as super duper healthy. And I love the way it looks. And once again, another example, like you can grow things like, for home decor. You can like use it as decor and then decide when you're done with it and you're gonna crack it open for the seeds. Well, yeah, it can be an extra person to clean after. Don't forget about me, Yoda said. Do you think we are going through hard times trying to find work in the whole world? It seems so. It seems like in industrialized nations, the same problems are taking place. Leave it all behind, repent to Jesus. He is God. Alpha and Omega said. These are all our witchcraft. What is witchcraft, Alpha and Omega? I'm completely okay with you saying things like leave it all behind, repent to Jesus. He is God, because I can respect that, but I don't know what you're calling witchcraft. Is that in the same family as cannabis? HK, are you talking about I don't sativa is I should know this. Is it like the same genus? I don't know what to say family. There's a lot of plants that are the scientific name sativa in it. And when I try to learn more about classifications of plants, like, oh my goodness, like it's one of those things that goes way over my head. But I think it would be fun to try harder. I thought, geez, okay, AHK, let's not make fun of anybody's beliefs. Kama Sutra, no. Who said Kama Sutra? Who said, I said something that was the name of a plant. I think you heard me say this plant, but I wasn't talking about that. Kama Suna. Kama Suna. Sorry if that sounded wrong. Stay with your wife, let her have a boyfriend. Yeah, anybody, there's so many Reddit stories where people express how their partner wanted an open relationship and approached them about it, and they, oh, okay, they were okay with it, but they weren't as into it. And then they ended up having a successful date night or starting another relationship with somebody, and I don't have the energy, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have the time or the energy to deal with a whole other ass man. I just wouldn't. And I say I love my husband. I'm just saying I just don't know where some of these adults find the time, and you like settle down, your hormones aren't raging anymore. I really don't get it. But a lot of times it backfires on them every time almost. Well, this is why it ends up on Reddit too, though. But like often it's like, oh, now they're begging me to close the marriage again. So you really need to be careful be careful what you wish for. Okay. I've gone through. Okay. Oh my gosh, I have so many seeds. It's ridiculous. And that's another reason I want to get a better storage, like a big Tupperware, and then have like a lot of YouTubers have it. Roots and Refuge, I know she stores her seeds this way. I love her. I don't watch a lot of her videos anymore because I've watched so many of her videos. Hi, randomness in nature. How are you? Do you have a channel? That sounds like a channel name. Uh, where is your hubby? He's somewhere. I think he's outside right now at the fire or something. Oh shit. So anyways, um I haven't heard anything in a minute. Definitely not growing potatoes. If you didn't know, they do have potato seeds. Supposedly, they'll be like, you can't grow potato from seeds. I don't know how botanical interest did this or why, but this is something that I got as a doomsday prepping item. It'd just be nice to have as much as possible. Here is my Swiss chard, Anna. I also have the rainbow blend, but yes, I'm going to grow this, or I'm going to start this. We'll see how much it grows. I really need to grow cat grass for my cat. He's in an outdoor phase right now. He does the weirdest thing. He'll come to the door and meow like he wants in, and then you open the door and he just sits there, but he doesn't come in. He's such a Oh, I love him so much. She's not in open chit chat time. It's nice to let her talk first. Okay. No shit, Sherlock Yoder said at age chamomile, that's something I wanna oh my gosh, I love chamomile so much and I miss it so much. If you've never grown this and you grow things, oh, it smells like apples. It literally smells like you just cut a bunch of apples and it is so precious. I just think this is one of the most precious plants. The way it looks, probably not the best time of year for me to start that, but this is what is fun about gardening too, in my opinion, is the ability to experiment. You can always have like different things going on and see what works. And like I said, I didn't know what my zucchini is that I have growing right now, like which varieties of zucchini it was. And it's like Christmas morning finding out what kind of zucchini is growing in my plants I've been watching grow since it's like June. I mean, okay, hold on. I'm sorry. It was the beginning of July. Everything I have growing now, I started at the beginning of July. So that makes a little bit more sense why I'm just now getting zucchini, right? But if I hadn't started it in like the heat of the summer in straight compost, I'm sure I would have had maybe just a few weeks sooner. I guess it's not that late. Sounds like a problem, Cat HK said. He's worth it. Mr. Carey, Lydia's spoon in the sink last night. Yeah, that was so funny to me. Like, I don't think I have to tell you, like, that's like one of the things we've, like, I don't want to say gotten into it over. One of the things I've nagged my husband about, like, okay, when you make the coffee, like, if the sink's right there, can you just put your spoon there instead of on the counter? And then, like, so we've met this middle ground where we have something on the counter to put the spoon on. One time I accidentally texted this realtor because it was like in the process of selling our house or whatever. And I was like, I'm buying this. And I sent a link of like the spoon holder from Amazon. And I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't get like shittier because I was just like matter of fact about it. Anyways, I'm like, oops, I meant to send that to my husband. And I think she even got it. Hi, Thomas. How are you doing? I'm doing well today. Yoder, spoon in the sink, spoon in the bed, mi casa, su casa. Yeah, that is so cute. Yeah, that's the best kind of spooning, right? Yeah, I randomly came up with it too, Lydia. Mr. Carey, you really randomly came up with that. I'm glad you're doing good, Thomas. I am trying to figure out exactly what I'm going to start in my garden beds. Of course, it's really limited to like salad greens, really is what I should be. But no, I think, peas grow pretty fast. And One thing I like about peas and why I recommend it as like a survival food because you can eat pea shoots. It's one of the plants you can eat the soonest. Like, I mean, gosh, within a few weeks, you need to let it grow enough, but you can eat the shoots that come off of the stem. You can, of course, you can eat the peas. You can, you know, if you want to like shell them, you can eat them all when they're young with the pod, or you can wait and shell them. I just really like peas. And I'm sure you guys know it's one of the plants that has the most protein. Um, Hi, case number. How are you doing tonight? Hi, John. Yes, my husband thinks so too. Baby tomatoes grow good. Yeah, I don't think I have enough time of the year for tomatoes. I wish I did. Yeah, cherry tomatoes. I love tomatoes, Thomas. And I've grown all sorts of tomatoes. I prefer sun gold cherry tomatoes personally, but like I like all kinds. Oh, hey, Frosty. How are you doing tonight, Frosty Cupcake? I haven't seen you yet if you were in here before. Thank you. I'm glad you're doing good, case number. I'm only going to be on here in like another 20, 30 minutes, but I so right now it doesn't hurt like at all, but my right thumb hurt really bad from I must have it's just like I have autoimmune issues. I am 38 years old, but like the pain I go through after simple activities like it isn't right. And once again like I think people that know me well enough. I'm like not trying to play the victim. I say it because like now that I have a somewhat of a teeny tiny public platform, I really want to like give a voice to people that have chronic pain, people that have been to the doctor over and over with certain symptoms and had certain markers on their blood work and still not gotten things figured out. Had a precancerous condition for 10 years, and after 5 years of dealing with it, had four doctors in a row tell them that they wouldn't give them a surgery to remove it until it spread to other organs and became even way worse to deal with. So, yeah, and gardening has given me so much faith at the worst times of my life. It gave me so much faith in solace in the cycle of life. And it really does feel like when I grow plants that I've grown before, whether or not I've grown them before, but especially if I've grown them before, like it really does feel like I'm seeing old friends. It's like I look forward, I anticipate. And at the same time, I've learned a lot about delayed gratification and have benefited from that. And I am a procrastinator. I am bad with being on time, as you can tell. I know it's a character flaw I need to work on. And having to garden, especially when you're succession planning, you really need to be regimented in a certain way, at least have your schedule down. But it's also fun because it's like art in a way that once you start, you don't really know where you're going to end up. And I love all of that. What about, I think these might be a good alternative for onions, right, Anya? Anya. Gonna grow some scallions or attempt to. And then, I could use the tops of these too, possibly, even if I don't uh get much. Diamond, I'm so glad to see you, Diamond. How are you doing tonight? Frosty, did you say you said you're doing all right. I wish you were better than all right, but I'm glad you're here. Diamond, years ago, I watched a channel. I think it was called Guildbrook Farm or something. They did a survival garden one year, but after that, they stopped. That's cool. Glitch, I'm just going through some garden seeds right now. We're mostly chatting. Frosty, I'm doing well. Mr. Carey said hi. Diamond says hi to everybody. My pain today was because I drank last night, Case never said. Yeah, well, don't do that anymore. And you know a good, not that anybody asked, and this isn't medical advice, and I don't feel like I have to say that. When you are hungover, it's more like a lot of people attribute it to dehydration. It's more of the displacement of minerals in your system. Alcohol is a poison, right? Like I drink it sometimes too, so I'm no better than you. But like it sucks out and like they say, I don't know how true this is, that like sugar to eat sugar and processed sugar, it takes magnesium from you. Like to process certain things, you use things in your body. And so anyways, eating good salt. Like if you have good salt, of course, like just regular cheap salt, that's what we have right now, is going to be better than nothing. But ideally it'd be like really good Himalayan salt or some like good iodized salt. I really like, what is it called when it's grown in a pond and it's like little square crystals? I I used to go, okay, I haven't been able to in a few years. I used to go crazy with the salt because I really do believe in Epsom salt baths as well as other salt being added is a good form, especially if you have leaky gut, digestive issues. You can take all these supplements. all day long. But if your gut isn't processing things right, and transdermal, as much as you can get transdermally, in my opinion, is a good thing. In my opinion, it's just like I saw my son greatly improve from Epsom salt baths personally. So yeah, I eat some good salt. Even when I'm hungover, I'll literally like I'm not giving any advice. I'll put like half a teaspoon. I know that sounds like a lot. And I just love lemon. I love salty lemon. I'll put like a bunch of lemon in water with salt and it always makes me feel better. I love gardening, but I dream of a raised bed and closed garden now. Yeah, Diamond, have you seen mine, Diamond? I'll get my husband to build you one, Diamond. I'll hire him out for you. How are you feeling today, Yoder? Diamond said. And Frosty also said, hey, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not that far behind. Good. What did you get into last night? Case HK is asking. I'm good. Thanks for asking. I hope you're feeling better, Diamond said. Yoder said, a diamond in the sticks, like one of Lydia's Zeke's. Great. What? Anna, you are so out of left field sometime. And then Diamond said, oh no, LOL. And Mr. Carey. Okay, Diamond. I know a lot of people with POTS, so they have to add salt to their food. Oh, really? POTS, like that autoimmune thing? POTS. Diamond, now that you're in here, I feel like I'm gonna have to stay on till 11. Adds everybody in here adds so much, but like Diamond, you really like added a lot last night. I know a lot of people. Okay, I already heard that. I heard about the lemons. I just have to do it. Case number said, yeah, yeah. I think there is something to the something in lemons too. Yoder, they tell me pots. I'm not sure if I've seen your garden yet, Diamond said. I have a video, not that you have to go look at it. It doesn't really show it that great because I'm trying not to show my house. But I do have kind of what you're talking about, and it's because of my health issues. It's like it'd be so nice to have a waist high bed. My knees are bad. Like I worked on the factory fine, but when it comes to bending over and over, I can be on my feet all night long, but I definitely have one bad knee. And I know the moment it happened, I was working at Amazon, like I felt it, whatever happened. Anyways, and it wasn't even that painful. I just felt a tear or something. So I don't think my knee is ever gonna be the same, and it's waist high, and it's like a square basically with, a door in the middle of one of the sides, and I always say that when I talk about how he built stuff. There are like 6 foot tall posts in the corners and every several feet, so it's easy to hang up things to trellis the plants on and, keep the deer out. I had one it had to have been a bunny. I had, like, a random bunny eat a bunch of stuff. I had celosia growing. I was so disappointed. It was, like, this beautiful, like, sherbet collared blend of celosia, and some little bunny came and ate because it was everything young, like, all the youngest leaves. My 2 newest cucumber vines, I would have still had cucumbers for a while, but they came and ate all the new leaves of everything that was young. And, it's 'cause I didn't have the trellising material up, and the celosia was down by the ground where, definitely gonna make lots of pickles, and I wanna make different kinds, and, I'll make a video out of that because it's so easy. I'll make at least, like, a sweet kind and a spicy kind, and maybe, like, just something in between. Don't ask me how I feel, LOL, unless you can't handle the truth. Diamond, I've always loved drinking pickle juice and lemons and limes with salt, and no, I don't drink, but have tried things in my past. I'm no angel, LOL. Oh, right, pickle juice for hangovers, right. I bet that has to do with, vinegar, right? It used to be on the internet that vinegar was good for sunburns. I swear I tried that stuff and I swear it did work. And now I've heard that like that's not true. Which does make sense. It doesn't seem right to put something like vinegar on a something like a sunburn, right? So all these things, I'm going through my peppers, definitely no peppers. And that's one thing. A lot of diets like recommend against nightshades, which is tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, potatoes. And I just think it's interesting. I've seen common threads and like all these like fad diets, and when it comes to a lot of these things that are for autoimmune issues, a lot of them recommend against nightshades, but I personally have never cut them out. Okay, this is all, these are something that I got like, I haven't tried to grow them yet. Oh, Yoder, you're so sweet giving memberships. Thank you, Anna. Thank you so much. You're building up my memberships, forcing me to do something with them, aren't you? Um, Diamond. I used to watch Back to Eden gardening videos all the time. Also, there's this interesting enclosed garden, kind of like a greenhouse. An 80-something-year-old man invented it out in Nebraska. That's so cool. I love watching videos like that too. One of the most inspirational things I ever saw was this man that dug like it's called a wallapini. It's a greenhouse that's like halfway in the ground. And he's out in some state like Iowa or Idaho or something growing oranges in the wintertime. It's absolutely amazing. Like you can grow anything if you put your mind to it, really, you know? These are berries that you have to process, like, you can't eat them raw. Hold on, you might be able to eat okay, yeah, unripened fruit can be poisonous. So, like, I'm not a huge fan of that, but at the same time, like, never say never. I think one day I definitely will be bored with everything I have going on and, like, reach for these. I think that that's neat. Once again, Baker Creek. But, yeah, I think I have peanuts for Michigan Gar I grew one peanut plant once that literally had, like, literally 1 peanut on it. It's so funny when I pulled it out of the ground. And it wasn't the one that I planted, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Electrolytes, girl. Yes, electrolytes. You're right. That is what it is. I heard spicy V8 and a shot of vodka is a good hangover cure. I wouldn't recommend that whatever they call it, what's that term when you drink alcohol because 'cause you're hungover? That just doesn't seem right. That sounds like this man that was in Nebraska, he was growing oranges. Yeah, it might have been him, Diamond. Hey, Pigeon. Howdy. I joined right at the right time. I went to school for horticulture. Really, Pigeon? That is so neat. Good for you. I would love to do that. It was just like the debt I would get in for that degree didn't seem to justify it. And I'm not saying anything. I'm glad you did it and people are doing it. But like, I was like, "W- can I, do you work in horticulture? You don't have to say what you do, but I'm just curious because I think that is so neat. It's great because there are a lot of agricultural programs out here, you know. And I don't have the golden boy beet seeds, but this is like a blend. Oh, I'm so tempted to try to grow beets because we've got um I will try to speak slower. I have 145 tomato plants this year, picking about 300 plants a week, Pigeon said. Oh my gosh, how many varieties is in that 145 plants? I bet it's a lot. Oh gosh, how do you keep up with that? Hi, Javier, how are you doing? Jesus, do you think your channel is being shadow banned? Well, I mean, Jesus, I know that like even I have such a big mouth, like with my accounts that aren't this, like I get shadow banned. My comments don't show up when I leave them, you know what I mean? Like, and I would prefer to stay small, honestly. Like, of course, everybody wants to get views that makes YouTube videos, but I look at it like the bright side is I don't want to be overwhelmed. I don't want to have like a huge community. I'd like to stay to the point where, like, we probably will have to have members only chats maybe at a certain point to like get like this, but still, I didn't get my full degree. My teacher actually talked me out of it. I did the fun classes. Well, that's cool. I'm sure you learned a lot. North Lawn Flower Garden. I'm probably getting her name wrong because I'm not subscribed to her on here. I'm on her like there's this woman who went to school for horticulture and she grows cut flowers now and she is so knowledgeable. I have learned by far the most from her and that's why I'm like, oh, I would love to go to school for it. There's just like so much stuff she taught me. Like I didn't know the term for like snapdragons will kind of like follow the shape of whatever vase you put them in. You know what I mean? They'll like droop over and then straighten themselves up. And she like explained why they do that and the term for that and everything. I was just, I don't know why that just made my day. I really want to grow some crimson clover. Is a cover crop somewhere. So I am going to start that soon, although we'll see how that turns out. That's going to be easy to get if I need to get more seed. Thank you, Frosty Cupcake. Do you know anything about App Harvest of Kentucky? But I think that went down almost a year ago now. No, I do not know anything about that diamond. I never heard of that before. Um, Why would I think what, Jesus? Oh, the channel is being shadow banned. Probably he's probably saying that because of people having difficulty getting comments to show sometimes. Pigeon said, I do. I grow produce for markets and use for grocery shows, grocery stores. I was at 450 plants max with 40 varieties. That is so neat. So are you doing that in a greenhouse, Pigeon? That is so cool. Do you have a YouTube channel, Pigeon? She speaks any slower, she will sound like Forrest Gump. Mr. Carey said she was. I am not from the UK. I'm from Kentucky. Hi, John. How are you doing tonight? Her channel used to have triple digit viewers when she first started. Well, Jesus, I've had a few videos get like 10, 20,000 views when I have things in the chat in the title, like RFK Jr. You know what I mean? It was like Sydney Sweeney's crappy jeans. And I do, trust me, I'm going to try to go at that angle more often for sure. And, but most of my lives lately have not been big topics like that. So I would say that is why, also some things just get talked about too much. You know what I mean? I try to only talk about a big story like that if I feel like I have somewhat of a unique perspective to offer because I know what it's like to be subscribed to a lot of people and like something goes viral and every single person puts a video out about it, you know. Hey said, "Nah, smaller communities are the best." Right. I really am not here. Like, of course, I want to make money. Who doesn't? Who doesn't need to make money? But I really like mean it with all my heart. I'm here because I'd like to build a community. It's like given me a lot of hope. And I started to say this last night. I wanted to like come up with a new victory garden, like to call it something other than a victory garden to encourage people to use whatever space they have to grow food. And these things are kind of pricey, but there's so many of these towers, like basically like 4, 6 foot, even taller towers you can grow plants in vertically. And um there's so many options, but I know not everybody still has like the sunlight available, even if they have a patio, they might not be in the best place. And still, if more of us that did have space grew and helped others, we'd all be better off. Hazy said also comments were never blocked. Yeah, yeah, I totally see where you're coming from, Jesus, and I don't doubt that. So I try really hard to do things like pronounce that one word, Vaccines, wrong. Just Jesus, that was before the army stepped in, Yoder said. I get shadow banned everywhere. It's okay. It's better this way. Case number said, right. I pretty much like, of course, I don't want to lose my channel. I do want to start a second channel or give you guys my other, like one of my other, accounts, like to, is like for anybody that wants to, like, just in case, right? Because I totally prepare myself. Like, of course, it's not something I want, but like, I prepare myself to wake up and like my YouTube channel is gone. My porcelain throne is calling me quick. Oh, Yoder. She does have good genes, though, Case Never said. I don't know, the jeans weren't that flattering in the ad, the actual jeans. But yeah, I do think she's pretty. Pigeon, I have been told I need to start a channel, huh? I have 11 acres and 150-ish animals. My friends farm bees on my property. I don't have a greenhouse, though, just seasonal April through October-ish here in Iowa. That's amazing. You grow all those tomatoes without a greenhouse, Pigeon. Good for you. And yeah. I feel like now they're being kinder to small creators. You still have to be like consistent, but for a while it wasn't as easy. Of course, it's not like easy. App Harvest of Kentucky is growing indoor tomatoes in Moorhead, Kentucky, and they had bought land some at Somerset, Kentucky to start growing strawberries, but that was also around the time that the company went down. But I think someone's still running it. Diamond said all that. That's really interesting. I've not heard of any of that. That's how App Harvest was growing them, was vertical indoors. Yes, we lived near like a cool little strawberry farm in Florida, and it was like a U pick. And I want to say they had little towers. God, my memory is so bad. Yeah, they had little towers. They were only like 3 feet tall. They weren't as tall as a lot of the ones that you see. Yeah, I definitely encourage anybody that's like interested in starting a channel to start a channel, and you have one place you can try to get a few subscribers. It is hard, like I get it. I think a lot of people write off really small channels. They see somebody like it's so hard when you're like under 1,000 because they automatically see your sub count and it's like, oh, and I think people, I'm the same way. I'm like more likely to subscribe when you have a little bit more subscribers, but I do prefer the smaller channels because like I've said before, like the bigger channels, it's just like it's not personal at all. A lot of times, they're too big to fail. They'll be completely wrong about certain facts and they advertise. It's like constant advertisements. And I'm not saying I'm above ever taking like a brand deal, but I also don't see many offering me anything because of all the things I talk about. I'm not a very advertiser friendly channel. I mean, I guess some of my content is. I agree. I'm focusing on helping friends and family get tomatoes cheap enough to can and preserve. That's awesome, Pigeon. Okay, I'm surprised this is the first time somebody asked me. I have a scar on my nose, and if anybody has any input on this, the scar has been on there since I was 4 years old. It happened because a ceiling tile fell on my nose. It never randomly bled before. Like I didn't hit it. I do wear glasses, but my glasses don't really go anywhere near it. And it is like on the bump of my nose, but I just don't understand why. So every day I wash my face with a washcloth and I forget about it and I like bust it open again. I'm gonna stop with the washcloths. I have these other like much more gentler makeup remover things that are softer, like microfiber. And anyways, it's funny. It's like so many people asked me about it last night. Yeah. It's funny to me how many people like notice the scar before. Like it's just one of those things. Like people either notice it right away when it asks me right away, or I just never bring it up. That is great, Pigeon. Though I think that it's like really good karma, like to help people and to help people get food, like nutritious food, like that has to be good for you. Kick is the way to stream, Kay said. I've never done Kick. I've never been on there or anything. Gardening and cooking channels do good on YouTube, Diamond said. Yeah, I do want to share a lot more of my garden, but I'm still going to have this twist on me having a big mouth that likes to talk about a bunch of random stuff. And I told my husband that for years. I'm like, I want to have a garden channel where like I talk like politics and stuff like in the garden, and like try to relate it somehow. And Park Rose permaculture, she doesn't do it a lot, but she does like say this is like the permaculture practice, the problem is the solution. She'll say things like that when she's talking about political and social issues. Pigeon said, "I'm fully self-employed as it would be easy to get the time." Haha. That's awesome, Pigeon. Good for you. That is a dream of mine. To be able to grow food for people as for a living. Oh, good for you. And I want to grow flowers too, but a lot of the flowers I like to grow are also medicinal, multi-purpose. Are there many that live in Kentucky? John said. It depends, John. I don't know in the big scheme of things. Um, most towns in Kentucky are small. Most towns are like, I would say 2 to 5,000 people. Drywall is my main job, and I know some people enjoy watching that too, Pigeon said. Yes, definitely, Pigeon. I am going to make this video soon of our off-grid shed conversion because I am so proud of everything that we accomplished. Even though we ran out of money, I'm completely transparent about that. I'm not ashamed of it, or I would have kept it to myself. I could have easily been like, we flipped this property all along. We knew we were gonna like we got it really cheap because we did get the land. It was like the cheapest land we had seen in the area, like hands down. We jumped on it. You guys want to hear the story? Because it's kind of one of those like woo-woos, like it was meant to happen. Like it's crazy because the land was under contract and we happened to call the realtor when it fell within hours of it falling through. I don't know if anybody else is gonna think it's interesting, though. My husband is a logger, Yoder said. Oh, the most dangerous job. Let's always keep Anna's husband, Melvin, in our prayers because that is a very dangerous job. O Poder de Idea. I don't, is that Portuguese? Hi, in Brazil. How are you? Diamond. App Harvest was started by a Kentucky resident and had an old UK basketball player tied in the company, but I've not looked into it in months and see what's going on. Yeah, okay. I want to see what's going on with that because that sounds, I just wonder if they're still successful with it. I forget the name of the channel, but there is this girl. Oh my gosh, I like his work so much. It's like talking about no-till method often, and he's in Kentucky. And he's had a lot of good videos showing people like me and you, regular old people that bought like a handful of acres, sometimes more than 10, but usually like 5 to 10, and have started growing operations on them. I just love that. Mr. Carey said, I dropped your channel link to the other channel I am modding. My channel, Carrie, that's so nice of you. Thank you. Pigeon, Neosporin before bed has worked great for my scars. Yeah, have you ever had a scar just randomly start bleeding though? You know what I mean? But that is a good idea. I mean, I should try to do something. Um, it's definitely not like dryness. And I've had lots of dry skin. I never had this particular scar just start bleeding. I think we all get it, right? I've said it like 10 times. HK Meister Shush, Tracy Yoder said. Diamond is letting people know I'm married. Hey, do you have advice on what do you mean by gender bender office politics exactly, SF? I think I have a high viewer count, actually. You'd be surprised. I'm just sitting here talking about seeds, going through my seed collection, something I'd be doing just hanging out at home on a regular night. For me to have one person in here listen to me and talking to me, really, that's how I've always had like one close friend. This is like the largest friend group I've ever had in my life, you guys. Like, we've got Mr. Carey and Anna and Diamond. And then, there's a lot of other people that are pretty regular, like Alan, we see a lot, and then HK, and I'm not just saying this. Oh, Alan's going to sleep. Good night, Alan. I hope you sleep well. It really has been fun to get to know you guys, and I was wrong about Anna. I've already said that before. Like I was like so apprehensive when it comes to people I don't know on the internet, and kind of had to learn some lessons late in life that, like, especially with the way it is, like, especially as a stay-at-home mom, like, you don't socialize or meet new people unless you use the internet sometimes. Tomcat said hello from Key West, Florida. Go Navy. That's so cool. Key West. I've been to Key West twice in my life. You're welcome. They have 26,000 and I'm on a 90,000 channel. And that chat flies. I bet. I bet. Key West. Diamond said, "Good night." What is that, Yoder? I don't want to click on it because it'll leave the chat. Can you tell me what it is? Because I'm curious. Is that one of the lives? But yeah, you guys, I think this was a fun chat. I know it might be boring to some people, especially on the replay. I mean, if you are on the replay and you made it all to the end, um you're awesome for that anyways. But yeah, I bet Mr. Carey, I've been in lives like that is just you can't even read it. I promise I will work hard. There's always a chance I won't be able to write, but like I will work hard on having a more scripted live tomorrow. I'm not going to guarantee 9 p.m. because I do have something going on. But I also like if I can't get on here by 10, like I feel like that's too late for most people. So I'm really going to try hard to make it on like by 10 p.m. And yeah, I mean, I think a lot of you guys understand. I really want to try to get a better schedule and be more regular with my scheduling of lives. Isn't the Meister from that old Christmas Yeti show? I've seen where some channels will do a seed swap. Yes, Diamond, I would love that. I would love that. I think that would be really cool. I probably need a PO box for that. I wouldn't want to give just, I would trust a few of you with my address at a certain point, but not just anybody. Yoder or Jägermeister, that's my husband's cool clip of fame for a few moments. I had Jaeger bombs once when I was younger, and I remember those were pretty good, but I don't like Red Bull. I love learning about gardening and earthships. Me too, Diamond. Oh my gosh. Yeah, alternative living, the Kirsten woman. I need to do a video just like on the YouTubers that I love because I would love to share and see if any of you guys, I'm sure it's funny, a lot of the people that we do follow, especially like when it's like somebody with a smaller channel. With the dentist, LOL, I laugh more now, Yoder said. Mr. Carey, oh, little town of Liberty, how still we see thee lie. Oh, little town of Bethlehem. Well, yeah, and once again, sorry for like calling Aaron names. I don't want anybody to think that like I would call them names. I just think about like I don't want people to think that like I walk around like calling people names like jerk. I really don't usually, but nobody's perfect. Case, have you ever heard of that sea library that's in a bunker in lockdown? Yeah, it's like the world's emergency seed supply. At last I heard of it, like Bill Gates was trying to do something, or of course. I used to watch a lot of the YouTube channels on the dirt bagging builds, and that might not have been true, the thing about Bill Gates, but yes, that is cool. I don't think we could ever do that here in Huma, Kentucky, but um, Maya Erection. Oh my gosh. Jeez Louise, I'm gonna go now. The person I was just reading that name out loud and like, I've never heard of that person. Well, you got me there, Alwyn. Every once in a while, somebody gets me, I swear. Um, I I will see you guys soon. I promise. Like I said, I might never. Alwyn saying he's sorry now. That's funny you're saying sorry. You'd make a joke like that and then sorry, it's fine. I would love to have a below ground cellar. Me too, Diamond, especially with the tornadoes now. But for storage, I'm growing a bunch of pumpkin right now, and like I'm not gonna have anywhere to put them long term. I grew, like, a bunch of delicata squash one year, and they were just, like, dozens of them in bowls all around the place. It was chaos. It was stupid. My name is Ben. I'm not gonna offer that case. Willow Green Permaculture. Look that up on YouTube. He's amazing. Sweetest man sends seeds. Or any permaculture channels. I love permaculture. And it's just nature, you know. Nature knows what to do. Nature is the best teacher and healer. And that's why I want to share my garden with you. And I feel like a fake homesteader, but you guys understand. I had a hysterectomy in April, right? Definitely couldn't be bending over planting seeds. Um, no mood times, I'm married. Alwyn is winner of the night, Mr. Carey said. And on that note, I'm seriously gonna go. I know I'm like a grandma. I'm always like, bye. It was so funny to me last night. I was like, I'm gonna go. And then like a few minutes later, somebody was like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and go. And I was like, oh, it's so sweet. They're like waiting for me to say bye. I love the little house on the prairie and often watch it every few years. I just love seeing the way people used to live. Diamond, yes. I love watching old shows from my childhood every once in a while too, you know. It's a it's great. It's like therapy. Well, good night, case number. Good night, Diamond. Good night, Anna. Good night, Mr. Carey. Good night, Alwyn. You. Good night, HK. Who else? Alan already left. Good night, Tomcat, if you're still in here. And good night, everybody in here. I really appreciate people talking. Oh, thanks, Smooth Times. That's nice of you. I hope everybody has a great night, and I hope I see you tomorrow, Saturday night. I promise I'm going to try to have something more thought provoking. I know my last several lives have been like me sitting here talking, which is fun. And I really appreciate you guys. Hi, John. I'm getting ready to leave, but I hope everybody has a great night, and I love you. I will see you soon. Bye.